So you need to use the trig functions that are based on x and y and r to answer this. Let's switch over and show you those real quick. So basically we're using these 6 formulas to answer all 6 of your questions. The x and y are given in the question. The 4 is x, -4 is y. So let's write that up there real quick, bigger. Question is, what's r? We need r for several of those, right? Well, I guess we really just need it for sine and cosine, then you can figure out the rest based off of that, but we need r. Well, remember, we're talking about a right triangle here. So this would be your x. I guess technically, if I had drawn this correctly, think about it this way. That's your x. That's your y. It needs to be going down. That's why I switched the picture, but ultimately it's the same deal. Going down it'd be -4, so it's still 4, right? This is your r, because this is the unit circle. And we just need to use Pythagorean theorem to get the r. 4 squared plus -4 squared, and it doesn't matter that it's negative because you're squaring it anyway, is equal to r squared. So you've got 16 plus 16 is equal to r squared. So r squared is equal to 32. Take a square root of both sides, and you've got r is equal to square root of 32, which is going to end up being 4 root 2. Other way you could have got that would be recognizing that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle and knowing the ratios, whatever. But the r in this case is then 4 square root 2. Okay. Now it's just a matter of knowing the formulas. So if cosine is x over r, well, x over r is 4 over 4 root 2. 4's are going to cancel. It's 1 over root 2. Need to rationalize, so you multiply by root 2 over root 2, and you get root 2 over 2. All right, so that would be cosine. Sine y over r. So that'd just be -4 over 4 root 2. You simplify it all the same way as we just talked about, you're going to end up with -root 2 over 2. Tangent's y over x. So it's y over x, it's -4 over 4. It's -1. I'm going to skip down to cotangent. That's just a reciprocal of that, so it'd be 4 over also 1. And then you've got cosecant and cotangent. So cosecant is r over y. Cosecant is r over y. So it'd be 4 root 2 over 4. 4's cancel out, it's square root of 2. All right, so that'd be cosecant. Secant is r over x. So it'd be 4 root 2. Sorry for the confusion. Cosecant is r over y, so that one actually should be -4, which would have made this -root 2. So cosecant is going to be -root 2. Secant is going to be r over x, so that'll be 4 root 2 over 4. Again, 4's cancel, just get square root of 2. So again, secant in this case will be square root of 2. Cosecant will be negative root 2. But again, ultimately, you're just using these formulas, and you need to figure out the value of r, which in this case, since they're both the same absolute value, it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So you could use the ratios. You can always use Pythagorean theorem to get them as well. Okay. Let me know if you have any other questions.